Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be checking out episode 1171 of One Piece, The Heinous Sinner, Loki of the Underworld, Freed. Very, very excited to see how this chapter gets adapted. And this should include one of like a just absolutely incredible panel from this arc in the manga. So I'm just excited to see that in the anime format. But other than that, I don't waste any more time and hop right into this reaction, or more of a watch along, I guess. So if you'd like the audio and or full video, you can sync up with your own copy of the episode. If not, you can see it blurred behind me and read the subtitles below me to follow along. I'll just give us a countdown and we can hop right into this episode. Alright. 3, 2, 1, start. Alright, let's get it. Just a little bit. I literally just hopped back in, got back home and the episode dropped, so it was like perfect timing this week. Usually I've been a little bit more delayed, but worked out perfect. And ignore me, just drenched in sweat. It was hot and muggy out today. And this shirt choice was not the pick. I really, really love this opening. I'm really excited what we'll get for the next one though. Because in general, I think they've been cooking with the openings in honestly, most of Wano's were all peak. Every single Elbaph one was incredible, and the Egghead one was incredible, and then all these Elbaph ones have been awesome so far. And honestly, there's something so special about having endings and openings in general. Back since we had always had openings, but we didn't have an ending song for like a decade or something in the anime. Like it was crazy how long when they went without having them. God, I'm gonna miss this so much when it goes on break again, but if this is the type of adaptation we get, I'm more than okay with it. Oh, picking off where we left off. I love their response. Like, why the hell would we want to talk to your ass again? They didn't even show that, but that's fine. I love the idea of the Elbaph shifts and be able to like go through the clouds when they row. Yeah, sadly, he didn't find shit. Just hearing things. We definitely weren't scheming to steal everything from you guys. And to the Adam tree. Adam Franky's. Yeah. Oh, careful now. Dude, the way they draw Ripley, she always looks so good. That shot in general looked incredible. Branches have a long. That's also a cool concept because I forget if they say how old this tree is, but I assume it's like Void Century age. I think if I remember right. That's in the mural, I'm pretty sure. There's at least for sure a lightning strike in the mural. Elbaph's weak fire and lightning. Oh, that's so interesting with Loki being like the villain. Ooh, great. Totally unnecessary, but that was a cool rotating shot around Nami. Oh, fucking Usopp is drunk as hell. To be fair, he is drinking with giants. Oh yeah, you actually did. Because that group is honestly the one that needs that information, or would have been more useful. Glazener. I don't remember this if this was in the manga. That's fucking hilarious. Older woman. Don't fucking kill him. Also, Usopp, how the fuck did you even get up there? This whole bit with the sword, I can't wait to see how it ends up playing out fully. Hell yeah. He's just bouncing around with his fucking head. And drunk ass skeleton. Jinbei's the only one holding his own. Come here. And she was the one that, like, was there to experience that with him. I'll pull out that sword. I've had a theory for a while. Is that one of the kids? It is called. I've had one of the theories that at some point either Ja Rule's gonna pull out the sword and use it to attack someone and maybe sacrifice himself, or maybe fucking somewhere or another Usopp does it. That would be crazy. It's either just a really good ongoing bit or Oda is planning something with it. You can never really tell with Oda until you end of an arc how everything plays out. Sharp object. That kind of puts us in suspicions. Oh, also, Roto is not gonna be able to fucking not tell her I feel. Cool. So unhappy with her. God damn. That shot of her was diabolical. Hers design in general is really. Although to be fair, the guards getting taken out is important information to figure out and share with everyone. It is not going to be very peaceful for very long, considering we literally have, technically, I think at the moment, still have 4 Holy Knights here, but we'll have 3. Also, last episode I was talking about, it was probably the Revolutionary armies attacking Celestial Dragons, but there's a good chance it's also um it could be Blackbeard as well. What a reward as he's fucking knocked out, bleeding out. Back to the Walrus School. And this is where they were ironing up, so gonna go south here, and I forget if it's this episode or if it's after whatever happens with Loki. Oh, oh, that shot. Bringing up the Draugr and stuff like that. Um, the kids' fears and things like that will be important. Oh, just giving them fucking crazy aura walk up. Hmm. I don't want to go that direction, I don't think. I love the color choice for this sequence. Just ominously standing there. Man, they cooked with Summer's color design. I actually wasn't sure how I feel about Summers in the anime, but so far I'm really enjoying how these being presented. World, okay, back to the Loki and everything. Okay, so also the scale of that tree is insane when you just think about how big Loki. They're fucking like the size of his foot. Yeah, they weren't taken out. It was 3 attacks Loki took from Shamrock, I believe. I think one of each of the Cerberus heads stabbed into. Look, key. Get up. Oh, he's breathing. I love the like blush effect they do and everything when the characters are in the cold down here. It's something they did at the very beginning of Egghead. When they were on the boat when they first found Bonnie. Reminds me of that art style. Fucking stood up on the fucking sea stone. It's actually interesting just how strong he even is, like and able to so casually talk. Obviously, not now that he's been stabbed a bunch, but before, even in Stone. That is true. Well, want to chat him up or what? Oh, just kick in his ass. Well, that's pretty in character for Zoro. God. Checking every fucking aspect. And to be fair, Luffy could, I think, deal with Loki at this point. I just don't know. With everything we've seen so far, Luffy definitely seems stronger, but at the same time, he's been weakened in Sea Prism Stone for so long, and he has 3 giant stab wounds into him, and he's still an absolute monster when he gets out of these. True. Not everyone's you, but you're not exactly wrong either. I thought Luffy said, "My friends." Oh! Oh, yeah, it's already on the way. I actually forgot about this. Totally makes sense. I remember Haruden being down here, actually, in the manga. Well, actually, I believe the locks are off. Fucking Sanji. Balloon? Honestly, probably should have done a Gear 3rd balloon. That essentially is. Launch their asses. Team Rocket blasting away again. Launch their asses into the mountains. Boys together as well. He's already unlocked. I think he just kept still slightly like knocked out. Oh, I cannot wait for this flashback. He's already unlocked. Oh, I didn't notice that skull on Stanson's arm before on that sign. Ooh, I love seeing some character acting with the Giants. God, even the size difference between Loki and the regular Giant. Up one Keystone cuff on at the moment, it looks like. Ooh, very smooth animation for. Oh, and the hammer and everything. Fire OST voice as well. We're about to hit it to be continued here in a second, though. Ooh, continued, yeah. So unless I was blind, they didn't they make like the shadowing effect, which I didn't really expect, but seeing that moment animated and the I don't know who the animator might be for that sequence, but really crispy art and animation. Um I love how fluid everything looked. Because that's one thing with giant characters in most shows and even One Piece occasionally, they feel very low. Like a moment from Elbaph, not Elbaph, Egghead I really enjoyed is when Dory and Broggy were fighting the Gorosei, and like their attack, like their movement and everything, and giving the Giants a little bit more sauce was really awesome to see. Um, we've always known them as a strong characters, but I feel like harder to portray in anime sometimes with giant characters. But I think not only are the animators getting better with it because it's been more common in One Piece, like even Luffy turns giant half the time in his fights. Um, I think they have gotten even better at it as well. But like that whole sequence with Loki looked so incredible. I'm also really interested to know because I am a manga reader, so this is kind of spoilers in a way. But I'm really interested to see how some of these plot lines come back around in the manga at all. Like the stuff with the sword through his head, I think is going to be either relevant or it's just going to be a bit. But um, there was that whole dialogue line as well about the lightning and fire being the weakness of Elbaph, and then previously cutting off a part of the island. But it looks like next episode is where the chaos begins. Nature. I fear mode. Monsters appear. Oh, do we get that already? I don't actually remember the pacing of this section in the manga very well, or like what exactly happens in the order of events. Like I don't know, I don't remember exactly when we go into the backstory. I think it's like pretty soon because it happens with like Loki, and Luffy and all them standing around at the bottom in the underworld. I'm pretty sure. But it looks like next episode is gonna be absolute chaos. I forget how many more episodes we have to go. I think we are nearing the end of this section, which is sad because I've absolutely enjoyed it. It will be a treat when we do get to the next section of episodes because I think it's probably gonna either start or be largely focused on like a flashback slash backstory for probably almost like a core. Like it's a pretty fairly like hefty backstory in the manga. Um, and then we have pure chaos. Like even like the quote unquote slower episodes now, are gonna be really exciting because like there'll be like lore and flashback and things like this. This episode did feel a little bit slow at times. I think it was partially just the way content was extended. Like I think there was a sequence like this in the manga. I think they expanded the Nami moment, which wasn't bad. That was nothing special, but in character at the very least and whatnot. And that moment, like there was a lot of really great moments. There was just occasion where it felt like very slowly paced a little bit. I think that largely has to do with just like the amount of content that's actually in the episode itself, or in this chapter, I guess. A lot of great crew moments this episode, and I enjoyed her as well in this episode. She was very fun. I love how Roto and her very much mirror like Nami and Sanji. Slightly different dynamic, but it's very close, and I love that dynamic. This is actually despite this being like kind of a little bit of a longer extended sequence, I didn't mind this as much. This is very much more building on like the calmness and like building off on the kids and like the happiness of Elbap, and then slowly having like the a looming terror like approach is a good choice. So I don't mind that sequence as much. I just definitely did notice some moments where I felt like there was a lot of dead air. Um, didn't look bad though. Like even if this is like quote unquote a weaker episode of Elbaf, it's crazy because it still looks fantastic. And even like there was really good animation in this episode, especially, but I think just like the art style always looks so crispy in every episode. I always remembered like during a little bit during Egghead, but Wano especially like when you started an episode and you saw stuff like this, and just like how crispy some of these shots and frames are, you would expect that it's going to be kind of like a crazy episode, but it's just like they're constantly just leveling up the art. I feel I've been a big fan of Elbaf in that. I do think there was kind of this enjoyment the first time I read through it, just because it was my first experience with this arc, and um as much as I kind of absolutely despise the manga community for One Piece a lot of the time, especially with how like prevalent they are with like spoilers and leaks and things like that, that's something that always not I've something I've never enjoyed about the community. But there is something special about reading the chapters the first time because I feel like with the format of manga, you very much extend on certain scenes and like you closely like inspect everything a lot easier than just going through a 20-minute episode, going through panels. So I think sometimes it leads to like better discussions and dive into the characters and stuff. Plus, I also don't I might change my format since this is a manga reader like reacts essentially. I think in my post discussion I might start doing like full on manga spoiler talk and everything just so I can give my thoughts more in depth because I feel like sometimes I'm holding back my thoughts a little bit just so I don't give a bunch of spoilers to anime onlys. Yeah, very much a setup episode. Won't lie though, that whole sequence Loki was fire. Seeing Ragnar again, just hearing it makes me so fucking excited. If you know, you know. But uh the stuff with Ragnar has been so fucking incredible. Um yeah, so I can't wait to see a lot of that get animated. That won't be for a little while though. I think that's post um flashback or most of the flashback anyways. Like the end is where we see that for the first time. And also, I feel like the some of the voice actors this episode were very good as well. Um, moment in particular, where was it? It was just when all the giants were sitting around talking. Might have been Ja Rule's voice actor actually. Or it was Gerd. It was one of the two of them. There was a couple dialogue lines that I noticed there was just like a lot of emotion behind the voice acting, which is largely the case with every voice actor in Japanese media. Essentially, um, I'm a huge fan, but there's occasion where you just like notice a little bit extra that they put in. Um, Actually, I think it was the Gerd stuff where it was she was angry with Roto. It gave me a little bit of Nami vibes. Um, but like just the tone of her voice and the voice acting was so well done. Absolutely diabolical Zoro kicking him to make sure that he is actually wounded and stuff. But I do really enjoy. I will always be happy when we have Luffy and Zoro together. They're a very fun, like pair of the crew. I love when Zoro is essentially more of like the voice of reason. Um, it always throws me back to like Ennie's lobby, or I guess Water 7. During like the Luffy versus Usopp fight, and then all of like um Zoro's dialogue around that and his talk about the whole like looking up to the captain and everything was so strong. Um, Forever will be a top tier Zoro moment for me. And he has a lot, but a lot of I would say quite a lot of Zoro moments are like cool badass moments, but I love when he gets really good characterization and moments. And as much as people complained about like Wano, for example, I really enjoyed everything he got with Hiyori. His connection to Yasui was so fucking good. Um, like I will take his connection and relationship to Yasui over learning about like his parents or like lineage. As much as people give Oda shit, I kind of like that he very clearly like set seeds for things, but if it's not actually like relevant to the story and it's just cool lore things, like for example, I don't think Queen being Franky's father is ever going to be super important or anything like that, but it's just a fun little detail that adds a lot more to the world and feels more lived in and fleshed out. So I will never complain about little bits of information like that. But I think that's kind of all my thoughts for this episode. If you have any like theories about what's going on, even if it like current manga, I am caught up with the manga. So if you want to do any like theories that include manga spoilers, just mark it in the comments down below. I would really appreciate that so you're not spoiling anime onlys. But other than that, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this episode and Elbaph just in general. But other than that, I'll catch you guys all later and peace.